5 things that you should know before meeting a personal injury lawyer to discuss your sexual assault case. I'm Natalie Gerry, the principal lawyer and founder of Gerry Law. I help injured people get the compensation they deserve for their injuries. Today, we are talking about what to expect and 5 things that will help you prepare for your meeting with your lawyer when you are looking at starting a civil sexual assault action against a perpetrator. If you're coming forward after experiencing sexual assault, your first meeting with a personal injury lawyer can feel overwhelming. So I'm going to go through these 5 things that can help you prepare for that meeting and that can protect your rights. So first of all, bring any records, any screenshots, or any notes that you have. Your lawyer needs to understand what happened. So some examples of this include any medical or counseling records that you have. If you have a copy of the police report, then that would be very helpful for your lawyer to review. If you have screenshots of text messages between you and the person involved, then those are good to provide to your lawyer. If you have any journals or personal notes describing what happened, then those are great to bring to the meeting. If you have photos of injuries or items from the incident, then it's a good idea to bring those to the meeting or at least prepare to give them to the lawyer afterwards. So you don't need to bring everything, but bring what you feel safe sharing. And when I say bring, this meeting might be over the phone, it might be on a virtual platform like Zoom or Teams. So it's a good idea just to mention to your lawyer that you have this and that you could provide it afterwards so they can review it. The second thing that is helpful to the lawyer when you first meet with them is to put a timeline of events together. So it can be really hard to revisit this and go through all of the time like leading up to what happened. But it is for your lawsuit essential that the lawyer has an understanding of what happened when. So you want to include details even like how you knew the perpetrator, when and where the assault happened, what happened just before, during, and after. You want to also mention when you told someone or when you sought help. And then you also want to think about how the assault has affected your daily life. It's okay if you can't remember every detail, just do your best, and this is information the lawyer will probably ask for, so it's a good idea to think about these things ahead of time. You might also want to ask the assistant or the person who books the initial appointment what you should bring or what you should expect ahead of time. So you might want to email the lawyer's office before the meeting and they might give you a list, so something like a list of professionals that you've seen, so any doctors or therapists or anywhere that you got medical treatment. They might also want the police contact information, so if you were dealing with a specific detective, then you might provide their information. They will also want to know most likely about any criminal processes that have already started. They would also like any documents that you've submitted to other agencies. So if you reach out to the lawyer's office, that can be really helpful where they can provide you with a list of things to bring as well. Point number 4 is to write down your questions. So some questions that I am commonly asked in a first meeting are things like, what is the timeline like? What happens after this initial meeting? Will I need to testify? A lot of clients are concerned about this and want to know how involved do they need to be, and will they have to be in court and give their evidence? You may also be wondering the difference between a civil case and a criminal one, and your lawyer can explain that to you. You may also be wondering if you can remain anonymous throughout the lawsuit. So write down all of these concerns and questions that you have, and I always recommend in the days or week leading up to the appointment, whenever something comes to your mind, just write it down, because when you're in the meeting talking, sometimes it's hard to remember all of the questions that you had leading up. So it's a good idea to write those down and bring them to the meeting. Point number 5 is to give some thought to what you're hoping to get out of litigation. So some of the things that clients are looking for are things like compensation for therapy or lost income. Some people are looking for accountability from the person who harmed you. Some people are looking for closure or a sense of justice without going to trial. Whatever you're feeling is valid, and your lawyer will help you to look at the options and will help to protect your privacy and your interests. It takes a lot of courage to speak up, and coming prepared to your first meeting with your lawyer helps your lawyer to support you, advocate with you, and move your case forward with care and strength.